Previously, not on Unranked.
Yep. Oh, no wonder getting in is a pain in the ass. Amazing.
Hello and welcome to the 446th episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna, SPQR Marinello.
Hi.
And Tom the Great Bear Tom Caswell.
Cheers.
We're on a post-Lads weekend high. Mrs. Marinello back at home tried to shut this down. She was like, you just saw the boys.
Well,
I don't understand.
What's interesting is she didn't necessarily try to shut it down. She just made a comment. And the comment was, so I said, while we were giving the kid a bath, she goes, I go, all right, so, I got the podcast tonight. And she goes, what do you mean you have the podcast tonight? You just did the podcast last week. I go, yeah, I know, doing it again. She goes, well, but you saw each other this weekend. I said, yeah. She goes, well, what the fuck was that for? I go, it was to see them and hang out. And she goes, yeah, so then what the fuck could you possibly have to talk about? Like, you saw each other already. Like
The weekend.
So, and then I said,
weekend.
right. So I said, we got to talk about the weekend. We got to talk about what we
Yeah.
did. And she just rolled her eyes. And I'm just like,
All right.
Yeah.
Settle down.
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing is like, I did think about, should we record something while we're there? But then you run into the issue of like, well, then we're not going to talk about the stuff we did.
Let me tell you something. Let me just say this. Okay. For anyone planning a lads weekend, you really need like a lads long.
We needed an extra day. We needed a full extra day.
I would say we needed an extra 2 days. I would have been happy with a 2 day.
Tuna, you don't have to fucking.
I know.
You don't have to twist my arm on that.
I know. Well, the thing is that like what's funny is the morning of the second day, right? The morning the morning of the second day, I did say to you, Thomas, I was like, should we itinerize the day? Because there's so much we want to get in. There's so much shit that we want to get in the limited time that we have.
And we run into a little bit of a snafu the night before as well. So we were definitely packing it in.
So let's back up. Right. Chris, do you want to rehash your issues with the flights, or
I think we should just do the Pokemon.
Yeah, and then we'll get.
That's right. I'm sorry, I forgot.
We should go ahead.
Yeah.
Get the Pokemon, Dunzo, and then jump right on into it.
Also, before we do that, real quick, this is going to probably be, if you're an audio listener, if you can go watch the video, as you probably heard, and we're like, what the fuck is that in the previously on? This is a week to go check out the video, I think.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Tom, I requested both of you. I added you to a thing to add any clips or pictures.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't put anything in there. So I only had the stuff that I took.
I mean, look, you had some great stuff.
Yeah. I need you to go dump just dump it. Don't pick and choose. Just dump everything in there. We'll do it later. Don't do it now while you're on.
I will also just say that everything that I had was sent.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything.
Correct.
Tom is the one.
I realize that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you two took enough, so I was like, I don't need to. What am I doing? Anyway, Pokemon. Let's get the Pokemon going, because we
the
got
446th Pokemon. We finished the line last week with Garchomp, and now we're kicking off with a pre-evolution to a fan favorite of Snorlax. Today we have Munchlax.
Do we like this Pokemon?
Yes.
I mean, I think we do. Let's just talk about its design a little bit. It's a teal Pokemon. It's got a cream spot on its chest, and its chin, the bottom half of its face, is basically two-toned. It's got a round little head, spiky little ears. And its fur, right? Its fur, because there's a furry Pokemon, is very like ragged at the bottom. Almost looks like it's wearing a costume.
Yeah. Or a dress. Or a Halloween costume.
Yeah, a little bit like Mimikyu, the one that's like wearing the fake Pikachu outfit.
Mimikyu, the one wearing the. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, take it away for the name.
Well, no, we're not going to go to the name first.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna we're not, because for the first time in a long time, the trivia section is actually pretty fucking long.
Okay.
For the first time, usually it's like one line of trivia in this goddamn thing. So Munchlax is the first Generation 4 Pokemon to be revealed. It is Munchlax's evolutionary line is the only one to have all of its members appear from a Pokeball within a single Super Smash Brothers game.
Wow, what a fact.
In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Munchlax's trophy information states it first appeared in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl instead of Pokemon Dash.
Okay.
I mean,
I have a. Can you repeat the previous one about the Pokeball?
Munchlax's evolutionary line is the only one to have all of its members appear from a Pokeball within a single Super Smash Brothers game.
That needs to be rephrased.
Chris is shaking his head. Why? What's the problem?
So that's technically incorrect.
Go on.
It should say a Pokeball item, because when Pichu appears on screen, Pichu comes out of a Pokeball, and then you've got Pikachu characters. So you got Pichu and Pikachu, playable characters, and there's a Raichu in the Pokeball. So two are playable characters, and then you have Raichu as the Pokeball.
Right, but they don't.
So it should say Pokeball item.
Okay. And then
technically incorrect.
Munchlax has the lowest base speed stat of all Pokemon,
along with Shuckle, and
that sucks.
Yeah, but I'm leaving. Tom. That's a ... I'm leaving.
Oh, I see.
I've removed that from the quote. And
spoilers for the future or the past,
yeah,
maybe.
It's not the only. I didn't say only. I just removed those two. Okay. Anyway, Munchlax appears to be based on a baby bear, and Munchlax may be a combination of Munch and Lax. It may, though.
For lacrosse.
We're not sure. Yeah, at Lax.
Yeah, this guy plays lacrosse.
It's a Lax, bro.
So this is interesting that you guys like this Pokemon. I guess I don't necessarily like it, only because I'm I guess I was a big fan of Snorlax being its own single line, no evolutions. But, it's fine for like a cutesy kind of baby poke.
I guess.
Gotcha.
And I think it's shiny.
I see what you're saying, Alex, about it being on its own. However, the thing I'll say to that is, like, the only thing better than a fat animal is a fat baby animal.
Yeah.
I think that I just like its design, and I agree with you, Tuna. I do like, going back to Gen 1, I did like the idea of Snorlax kind of being one of the few singular things. But I think more what it is for me is that a lot of baby pre-evolutions have missed the mark for me, and this is one that I feel like is one of the better ones. So it might not be one where I'm like, oh, I love Munchlax, but I think it's one of the better pre-evolution designs, and
that's fair.
A fun take on what like a pre-evolution of Snorlax would look like.
Right. And I just wanted, because I'm not a Pokemon expert, so I clicked on Snorlax to see if Snorlax had a third evolution, which it does not. However, I did not know that Snorlax has a Gigantamax evolution.
Yeah, he does.
And that is one sweet ass Gigantamax.
It's one sweet ass
design.
I mean, let's be real. It would be fucked up if there's a Gigantamax and they didn't give one to Snorlax.
Yeah, but like the design's great. Like if we were doing a list and including like this would be.
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good.
This is sweet.
Yep.
Anyway,
I agree.
Right.
Pokemon Legends
I would say
Arceus,
it's in the top. Oh, I'm sorry.
Its robust stomach allows it to nonchalantly devour even rotted matter. It pays frequent visits to villages seeking out food scraps intended for compost. I mean, that's pretty cool. It can eat garbage. It's literally a garbage monster.
Yeah.
It's useful.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, if you give me like the fun idea of Snorlax in a Pokemon that can actually like get up and walk around, I'm kind of into that. Because there is something with Snorlax that like love the guy, but like lazy.
Love the guy.
Lazy.
Great guy. Love the guy.
Lazy
Motherfucker.
I'm looking at our list here, and I'm thinking he's somewhere in the 30s.
Oh, I was gonna say 20s.
Oh, I was going to also say the 30s, Christian.
Well, I just wouldn't put him above Shanks. He doesn't meet the Shanks wall.
I wasn't gonna go above Shanks.
Yeah. And then like Floatzel, I like more than this. I like the Chatot, I like more. See, here's the thing is like for me, the two balloon Pokemon are like lower personally, so I might put him above there. But then when I look at Lot Bunny,
put him number 30.
Okay. I mean, I'm happy with 30.
Yeah. Chris?
I like him more than
and you
Chatot.
are?
And you are?
I think they're on the same level. So if we wanted to put them at 29, I'm fine
with 30.
Okay.
And that puts him actually dead center because we are at 60.
I think we fucked up with Rampardos.
Is like put him too high or put him too? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the evolution.
Listen,
that's the dinosaur.
Well, isn't the whole thing? Isn't once the season's over, we're going to take one last look?
Yeah. So I was just throwing that out there. So maybe I'll remember when we get back to it. But I did just look at it and I was like, look, I get it. Chatot a great Pokemon, but I think again.
Listen, if you want to put an asterisk.
No. We're not gonna. We'll come to it when we come to it. You know.
Okay.
But I just wanted to throw it out there.
Speaking of coming to it,
Lads Weekend.
We all came to Lads Weekend.
Would you like to give a quick summary?
It was great. It was great.
I had a fantastic time. Again,
10 out of 10.
I said, 10 out of 10.
Minus my travel.
There are things that I wish that we could have done, or wish that we definitely missed some things. For instance, right? We were packing up the car once you guys got here, and I packed up a television, which we never used. And we wasted time when Tom punctured a sprinkler hose.
We lost hours.
You want to
go cron?
You guys lost hours.
You want to cron it?
We all meet. It's Friday morning. Chris has unfortunately had a delay in his flight, so he gets
I left my house at 8:00 on Thursday night
Pacific,
and I got in to you guys. I landed like a little after 9. I was supposed to land at like 6.
Yeah.
Delay. Get on the plane.
Flights
get off the
same,
plane.
Man.
Delay.
I will
no
tell
sleep
you.
on the plane. It was warm. The air thing didn't work. Some jackass pushed it in.
Yeah.
At least I got like a refund on my like ticket, so I had the extra leg room on the flight home. But then that was also delayed. So just nightmare. Travel nightmare. I did go to the JetBlue Spa Lounge and I got a massage. That was nice.
Wow.
I mean, I had to do something. I was losing my mind there.
No, 100%. So Chris and I basically get there around the same time. And yeah, we pack a TV because we're thinking, we will have enough Xboxes to play some Destiny. So we thought we might do that. You guys brought the putter.
I'm gonna reveal something.
Go ahead.
I thought there was no way in hell we were playing Destiny. Of all the things we suggested we were gonna do, I was like
on the list.
I was like, there's no way this LAN 3 Xbox thing is out of everything that's like slated to happen. I was like, this one is the one that wasn't happening, which is why when you brought the TV, I was like, what for? And you guys were like, well, I was like, fine, fuck it, bring it. And I was like, there's one thing that's not happening is that TV is not getting plugged in, and these games are not getting played via some kind of LAN system.
the funniest thing is we didn't even need the TV because the Series S that I brought had this little monitor attached to it. But Tuna was like, bring the TV, bring the TV. So anyway, we packed that. We packed the putter thing, which we did fiddle with a little bit.
Yeah. Putter ball. Yeah.
Putter ball, which was fun.
I brought my own club for that, which now I donated to Alex, so I didn't have to check my bag on the way home.
So, yeah. So I have now 3 putters for that game.
You could just toss out the shitty one that came with it.
True. So, we load up the car.
Yep.
All right. Get in. Start driving out.
Yep.
The car also already filled to the brim before we go to load.
Filled to the brim. Filled to the brim. But we went to a mini golf place. And,
we did a mini golf on the way.
Outdoor mini golf that had some beers, and they let you drink on the course. And
that was great.
It was a great time. We had a great time.
It was like 11 a.m. 11 a.m. We were drinking beers playing mini golf day one.
Already Tuna's starting to go, why did I ever fucking get married? Why? I'm really questioning all of my life decisions right now. I was like, dude, it's been a couple of hours.
And it's a Friday, mind you. It's a work day.
Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
Friday.
You really start thinking like working's for the birds.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Doing anything without like your bud, like isn't it the buds hanging out?
The buds, it's
right?
About the buds, man.
I mean, we saw our future selves there. There were 3 dudes, all in their like 50s, literally also just like taking the day off, playing golf, having drinks. I remember they asked me at one point. They were like, oh, because we let them pass. They were like, you guys don't want to go? I was like, no, he's going to get more beers. They were like, oh, one of us should have gone to do that. They were like, there was a QR code. We forgot to take a picture of it. He was like, I'm not walking back there. You walk back there. They were like arguing about it. I was like, oh my God, there's just us in 20 years.
That's so fucking funny. Who won that one? Or was it a tie in the end?
We tied. Tuna and I tied.
Yeah.
We tied. But we had a good time.
Tuna for a minute there was eating it. At the beginning, in like the early moments, but he pulled it through. It was good golf course, a good little course there. So we did that, and that was great. We had
then we went to the grocery store, which anyone will tell you when you get a bunch of dudes together and you go to the grocery store to buy food for the weekend. For some reason, you think
inhibitions are kind of out the window a little
out the window, and you buy so much food that you'd think you were staying at this place for a week plus.
Yep.
But I mean, we bought 16 hot dogs, meat for hamburgers.
Which keep in mind, only you guys are gonna eat because I bought myself burgers.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I got
Beyond Meat.
Yeah, Beyond Meat stuff. So between the two of us, we bought 16 hot dogs, hamburger meat, 2 ribeyes.
Well, one for each of us.
I know, but at the end of the day, with all this other stuff, bags of chips, nuts, candy,
huge thing of cornbread, which was still in my fridge.
Of cornbread,
and I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: the hot dogs, Tuna put in the cart; cornbread, Tuna put in the cart; pistachio bag.
Gatorade.
I think Tuna had the opportunity to really kind of let loose, and he took advantage of it.
This is true.
For sure. Yeah.
This is true. So we bought
M&M brittle.
M&M
brownie brittle with M&Ms in it.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to buy bubblegum too, but you guys told me bubblegum out of business.
We each bought 2 bags of snack chips.
Yeah, but we did house those.
Yeah, they were housed. I bought the blue Cool Ranch Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos. You bought Buffalo Ranch.
Yeah, I got Buffalo.
I don't think the popcorn ever got opened.
No,
it ended up back at mine.
The popcorn in there. And then beers.
Yeah.
So then we get back to the house, and Tom's got this
before we get back to the house, the pickle jar.
Oh, right.
It's already started. It's already started at this point.
Right.
We're packing up groceries.
For some reason, we're at a grocery store where they actually have a bagger. And
I couldn't believe how many employees were at this place.
There were tons of people working at this goddamn place. My grocery store, you're lucky if you even get a cashier.
Yeah, although now they're changing that because all these grocery stores are getting rid of their checkout lines.
Oh, they should get rid of it. The self-checkout is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'd rather go with the...
Yep, they're going back.
Or
we have to go back.
Or with respect to self-checkout, you need to have like a very hard line rule of like, it really is for someone who went in to get a carton.
It used to be like 6 items or less, and then it became
that's
10,
what it should be.
and then it became 12, and then that's all. Then there was one
They're
line
walking
open,
it
and
back for
everyone
sure.
else's self
It's
checkout.
ridiculous. Like when
Yeah.
you're in line and you see someone have an entire cart, and they're going to
Yep.
go through the self checkout with an entire cart full of crap. You're like, holy.
And then you have the
fuck.
people that are buying alcohol, so then they have to wait for the person to
Yep,
come
they have
over,
to wait
and
for
they
the
have
person
to.
to come over. Oh, this was so stupid. There was a woman there with her son, and literally yesterday, I was literally getting oat milk, just that, and the thing flashes because she's buying alcohol, and he had to like kind of card her, but not really. And she was like, "Mark this day as the date. Like, I feel so good, I got carded." I'm like, "Bitch, you didn't get carded. Like, the system identified that you're buying alcohol. Like, you still look old." Anyway, so Tom decided he was going to get and help the bagger. You know, this person is professional bagger. Tom never bagged a thing in his life, clearly, because he knocked the pickles off.
I've been bagging since the day I was born. Okay.
Well,
I've been bagging.
really? Well, I wouldn't have said
Alex,
that.
he
If I
didn't
were-
knock them. He had them in his hand and went to put them in, and just kind of missed the cart.
No, he didn't miss
What
the cart.
handed up?
He
What?
hit the ledge. He hit the lip of. I watched it happen. He hit
Yeah.
the lip at the end of the conveyor belt thing.
Yeah.
And then it fell out of his hand. And let me tell you something. A professional bagger would know about that lip and would account for that lip and have the spatial reason.
I'll be honest. I just think anyone that is paying attention to what their hands are doing,
Well,
to what they're doing, would have the
you'll see-
spatial reasoning to
when you
not
will
do that.
And you will see again where Tom's hands fail him again.
My hands led me
Where his
astray.
hands, yeah. So anyway, Tom breaks a pickle jar. The entire store silent.
Oh
The entire store silent.
It was.
People
It
around
was.
us,
Oh
there are
my
workers.
god.
This is how
Oh
like
my
overstaffed.
god.
This is how overstaffed this grocery store was. There were 3 people who
Yeah,
worked
just
there that
watching
was
it
just
happen.
standing around
Yeah.
doing nothing, watching it and being like, "Oh my god, what do we need? What do we get?" And this guy brought over like
No one
flour.
was panicking. Oh my god, code red. Pickles. Pickle emergency.
And then they
It was
looked at
over the
me. They were like,
loudspeaker.
"Do you
It
want to
says,
go get
"Please."
another jar?" And I looked at them and I was like, "Sure," because like part of me wanted to be like, "No, I want to die. Like I don't.
Well,
I want to run away from the situation."
Well, when it happened, I
You
immediately
did. You ran to go get more pickles.
I about
Tuna walked
and
as far
acted
away
like
from
I
me as he
didn't
could,
know
yeah.
you.
Well,
Acted
I
like
wanted to
didn't
do
know
that
you.
too, and realized that I had now been put the spot. I'm like, now the problem was I felt now associated with this.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
terrible.
mean? Which I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want that.
No one
So
wants it
then,
bad.
so the pickles break.
I don't
the whole,
want that.
The whole store smells of pickles. They said over the loudspeaker, "Please be careful of glass," because the
Oh my
pickles
God.
glass went everywhere. And they cleaned it up. We left it.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
got in the car. We go back to the house, unpack, right? Choose our room.
Nice little Airbnb.
Nice little cozy little Airbnb. Each room had their own air conditioner, which was great.
I wouldn't
really
even call it. It was
appreciate that.
pretty big place. Good amount of rooms.
Yeah,
It
I'd say
was
cozy.
I thought
cozy.
this was like this was
pool
great.
area in
This
the
was like
backyard was
exactly had
massive.
everything
Yeah.
we needed.
Yeah, so the pool area in the back was massive. The pool was huge. It had a shallow end, a medium depth
was a
end,
big
and
L.
a huge
big L.
and a deep end. Tom had this blow up projector screen,
I did.
right? And a projector, which I will just preface, it was amazing the whole weekend.
Yeah,
However,
it's like
you have
16
to set
feet or something.
Yeah, diagonally like 15 and a half feet,
Okay.
20 feet, the full length of it. But
Okay.
yeah, the screen itself was like 15 feet.
So he blows it up. We put the screen on. We're setting it up, and
Looking
then
good.
Chris and I go in the pool. Tom's putting the stakes in to
Yep.
keep the blow up projector screen in place because the wind could blow this thing around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. He does it. Everything's fine. We get in the pool. Right. Hanging out. I look to my right. There's like water coming out of the ground. It was like, blah, 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 out of the ground. And I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
And walk over, water, a lot of water coming out of the ground, right? I stick my hand in. I feel a little hose.
Yeah, he
And I
does.
can actually feel on top of the hose a nice little puncture mark. And I say to Tom, I think you punctured the sprinkler line. And the water is just flowing. And as it flowed, it eroded of the dirt, and probably due to us also scooping shit out, but eroding a
you
lot
were
of the dirt.
fisting the ground.
Look, I don't know, because I was trying to.
If
I was
people go
trying
watch
to
the
help.
previously on, they'll see it. They'll
I was
see
trying
the
to help. At
fisting.
one point, we have a fucking geyser like it's Yellowstone
When I
coming
got
out of this
back
goddamn.
from the hardware store,
Well,
because
this
originally
is
it was just kind
hysterical.
of
This is hysterical. This is also hysterical. So we're Googling, and I say to Tom, buy a goof plug, which
No,
I
you
didn't know what
say
it was.
that. You didn't
Yes, I
say
did.
that before I left.
Yes,
You
I
didn't.
did.
You said that afterwards. You said buy flex tape. You said buy
Oh,
flex
that's
tape.
okay. That's right. That's right. I did.
And
I said buy flex
as I
tape,
was
which would
walking
have done
to
nothing.
the car, I looked on Reddit, and everyone was like, "Flex tape is a big way to like make a fucking situation a lot worse." They were like, "What you need to do is cut the like."
This was hysterical though. So Tom goes out to the fucking hardware store. He comes back with a copper, like
coupler is
quarter-inch,
what it's called. It's called a
whatever.
coupler. Yeah,
But a coupler, as if we're going to dig out the fucking ground, get a saw, cut the fucking hose, cut it so that it could fit in the coupler thing that you bought.
Why a saw? Just get a good pair of scissors.
Yeah, good pair of scissors.
No, you're not cutting it with a good pair of. This is a fucking tough
hose.
I didn't realize
that it was like PVC piping or something like that. Like I thought it was like a flexible like material.
So that wasn't gonna work. So obviously it was just like fuck it. So he had to call John Boy, who owned
John Boy.
John Boy. Well, I hit up our Airbnb contact, and
hours later now, which I said from the beginning, I said don't even bother, just call the place, just call them, just call.
If he had purchased a goof plug, we could have done so. We could have maybe
the whole time you're gone too,
there.
Tom. I was like, we just need to call.
And you also were taking a long time with that hardware store. I don't know what the hell you were doing.
I was literally as fast as I possibly could.
Well,
meanwhile, the backyard's just flooding.
Right.
Tuna's fist in the ground. The fucking holes getting
backyard's
deeper.
Flooding. Right. We're losing precious. We're losing precious yard time.
Amazing.
We're losing precious lad time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm floating in the pool. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still not playing video games. So he calls up John Boy, and John Boy's going to come from the Bronx and figure this shit out.
Well.
What?
I messaged our Airbnb contact who gave me this guy John's number. He must manage the property, but he basically said to me like,
he had his own profile. He had his own profile on the YouTube, on the television for YouTube.
Yeah, I don't. But this was the guy that I was told to contact.
There was some menage going on there.
And he said when he eventually got there, he said I was taking care of another property in the Bronx. But his thing is when so it's about 5 p.m. because I'm counting the minutes after I called this guy. Okay, 4:30, fine. I called him.
No, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean, we want to be precise.
Actually, no, the call to John Boy was 5:30. This started around 4.
Yeah.
It was after 5. So when the first call was made, it was around 5:30.
Yeah. You want to see the phone because I kept looking at it, motherfucker? Okay. The fucking
I mean, I have the video clip. In fact, actually, during the previously on, you see a clip of 5:01 p.m. is Tom on the phone with him.
Yep, 5 p.m. literally 5 p.m. outgoing call. So suck my dick.
Because it was around 4 when he left for the hardware store.
You see, this is the thing. I've been biting my tongue because there's been a lot of fucking little false like bullshit added to this whole story, and I've been
not from me.
Anyway,
because this is 4:15 when you first find out about this, and you're trying to fix
it. So call John Boy. He said, by the way, not call John Boy or like refer to himself as John Boy, just John, but we kept calling him John Boy. He said, I'll be over, which to me sounded like I'll be right over, like I'll be as soon as possible. And then we're just kind of sitting around waiting. We're doing putter ball. I'm like, I don't of want
around 7 o'clock. Alex figured out how to basically turn the water off. Like he had lowered it significantly at that point.
Well, that was the problem. So I knew that the shutoff for the sprinkler system was probably going to be in the basement, which we did not have access to. So he had to come and do that.
Yeah.
However, There's also
dude, this thing
in the
was just
ground
blowing water
yeah.
uncontrollably for 3 hours.
Also in the ground
Unbelievable.
outside is usually it has a green lid on it and it's in your yard. If you have a sprinkler system, you can take it off and you can turn the valve there, which I did do, which didn't turn off the water, but it lowered the pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, and so at about 7, a little after 7, it's been about 2 hours since I've called John Boy, and I'm like, oh my god, is he coming? Like, I wanted to know if he was coming that night because
Yeah, of
like
course.
we wanted to get everything started. So I messaged our Airbnb contacts, and they were like, oh, he's just leaving. He's coming from the Bronx. Left 10 minutes ago. I'm like, oh my god, like we're not anywhere near the Bronx.
Yeah, which is amazing because at this point it had been 2 hours since you called, and we were joking, where's he coming from, the city? And we're like, there's no way he's coming from the city.
Yeah.
2 hours later, now he's leaving for the city.
Now he's leaving.
You guys should have just
city.
gotten in the pool with me that whole time.
I know. Look, I know. You know. Anyway, he shows up 8:30 ish, probably. Turns it off, and then once he's out, forgot the fucking wine debacle. So he's leaving, and there's a little like by the front door, there's like a little bar area with like a little welcome sign and like some candy, and there's like wine glasses, but there's no bottle of wine, which I don't think any of us like even like noticed that there were wine glasses, no wine. He goes, so it's like essentially says like, oh, did you drink the wine already or something like that? And we go, oh no, like there wasn't any wine. He's like, no wine. And he's insistent on providing us wine, where we're about to do a fucking power hour. Like, we don't need a bottle of wine.
Well, the other thing that I found funny was that he calls up the woman who apparently owns the house and says to her, you didn't put the wine out?
Yeah.
You didn't put after we just punctured her sprinkler system that she is now going to have to fix before they even use these sprinklers anymore. He's calling her to complain that she didn't leave the wine out for us.
And he was like kind of annoyed with her.
He was annoyed.
And I was like, whoa.
Like, I was just, I was like, asking for the wine.
We don't care about the wine. Anyway, so he goes, I guess we think that there was a little like shed, or there were multiple kind of sheds on the property, and most of them we didn't have access to. We think he pulled wine from there. He handed us the bottle, and then we were like, we have to drink this, or we have to fucking pour it down the drain before we leave. It has to be gone. It wasn't, spoiler alert, by the end of the weekend. But once he's out, once that's resolved, we hit it hard.
We did. We hit
it hard and fast.
We kept, and that's why I'm saying, like, there was no time. There was no time wasted, and we still didn't get to do everything we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we hit up. Chris made this Lost Power Hour, which is what, 6 clips or 10 clips from
10
each
clips
season?
for each season, so 60 clips in total. So it's standard Power Hours. Just we're watching clips of Lost for each minute, and it goes from the beginning to the end of the show chronologically with like. You are telling in a way some of the show's story, you know,
a little bit.
That's great.
You could, if you've seen the show before you follow it, you could totally follow it and you know exactly what's happening. Even if you haven't seen the show, you kind of get a sense.
Yeah.
But it was good. We did that, and then
that was great. We were chilling after that. We played games. What did we play? When was the Smash tournament? Was the Smash tournament
second day? There was no way.
We weren't doing that. Yeah, which, by the way,
I was drinking Smash that night.
I was drinking and doing all of this again on no sleep. So when we did this Power Hour, I had not slept since the night before.
We stayed up till 2. We made some hot dogs.
I was delirious by the end of that.
Yeah, we just played video games outside. Video games outside on the projector screen was fucking awesome. The reflection in the pool of the screen was also awesome. It was just a great time. So then we all go to bed, right? And I woke up at like 8.
Well, we go to bed and we go to clean up, and everything is soaking wet outside for some reason.
The moisture in the air was crazy.
We had filled paper bags with like all the beers that we drank, and Alex goes to pick one up and they all just spill out. The bottom of the bag just tears.
We'd ordered a pizza for lunch, and the pizza box, the cardboard is just drenched, and it hasn't rained at all. It's just like dewy, and it was kind of insane, because I also saw like Chris like fiddling with, like, because we had a little recreational something or other, and Chris was going to light it, and he was like looked like he was drying the lighter, and when I went to go touch the joint, it was like, this is wet.
Yeah,
like, did this fall?
Everything was
what
wet.
What the fuck happened here? It was so bizarre.
Yeah,
so bizarre.
We're honestly lucky that like none of our like consoles or anything broke from being soaking wet.
So
very weird.
2 o'clock in the morning, go to bed. All right.
Yeah.
Next morning, I wake up at 8 o'clock. I text Britt just to check in. And then I think to myself, I haven't slept in I don't know how the fuck long. I'm not getting up. Right. I don't even care. I'm pretty sure Chris isn't up. There's no way that Chris is up. Tom,
no, I needed to catch up on.
Tom might be up, but I was like, he'll probably play video games by himself for a little bit or something. I'm going to go back to bed.
Yeah.
I didn't wake back up until 11. So I was feeling fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
And I come downstairs and Tom is like, yeah, I've been up since like 7 something or 8 something. I'm like, what? Tom?
Just when I get very drunk, I go to sleep very quickly. And it's been a while since I've been drunk like that. I go to sleep very quickly, and then once I'm up, I cannot get back to sleep, and it always happens after a heavy night of drinking.
That used to happen to me, and now it doesn't happen anymore.
Weird.
That used to always happen to me. The same, like if I went to bed drunk, I'm like, well, I'm gonna be up early because I'm gonna have to wake up and pee, and then B, like once I'm up, I was up because I needed. You need water. You got to hydrate.
Yeah, maybe that was what my body was telling me. But I kind of woke up at 7:30. But yeah, I kind of got out of bed at 8:30. And by the time Tuna came out, I'd already been in the pool a little, had a little swim. I had set up basically everything so that when we were ready to go, we were good. We didn't have to set anything up. And then I was doing my Fortnite dailies when Tuna walked in.
Yeah, I walked in and he's like, I'm just getting my Fortnite dailies.
I just got to get my dailies. Got to get my dailies.
And then we got some coffee. Chris woke up and then we hit the ground running again.
Ooh, I wanted to just complain about this briefly.
Okay.
But first compliment. I had a thought about Slater, Tuna Fan Club, while we were there, because he talked about things that should be at the Airbnb that weren't, and this place had everything. So we didn't have a Bluetooth speaker, had the Bluetooth speaker,
had
Wi-Fi, had TVs, had more bedrooms than we needed, had paper towels, had everything that you would want.
System.
Every was so, except one thing, it has my absolute worst, the least favorite kind of shower in existence, and that's a walk-in glass shower that doesn't. It has a half wall. It has a half wall of glass. In fact, I would say this was a third wall of glass, and 2/3 of it were open. So no matter what you do, you're just gonna soak the entire fucking bathroom. And what asshole out there was like,
you're not trapping the heat.
We're gonna find a way to charge more money and sell this as like a higher end shower, but provide less materials. It's going to be a lower material cost for us, and we're going to sell the design as like a high end, but actually it's just a nuisance. It's an absolute fucking nuisance. And it made me, but when I saw your text that you were going, I was like, oh sweet, like I can take my sweet time, go like get up, brush my teeth, shower. It was nice. I came back, you guys brought me my food and my drink. That was a nice way to wake up, not have to do anything. And Alex, you guys figured out an itinerary for me. Waking up Saturday morning was incredible because I got complete house alone time to myself to like get myself going. Came home, you guys brought me food and brought the plan for the day. I had to do nothing. That was awesome.
Well, so once we had brought the coffee back, I think we did just like pool, right? Like we were just, by that point.
We did pool. We did a board game.
Did we do board game then pool?
We might have done board games then pool.
But the board game was the King then pool.
The board game was The King is Dead, and it was a very quick but engaging strategic game of
risk-like,
but no dice.
It's a territories-based game. But you don't have your own faction. You are essentially vying for control of like
It's whoever has, there's three
Yeah.
there's three factions, each represented by color, and basically as the game progresses, you're doing actions that have you move pieces around the board, and you're also collecting colors. And essentially at the end of the day, once the game is over, it's whoever has the most colors of the various factions wins. But there's a ton of strategy. Like, we didn't even scratch the surface. I feel
but you only get 8 moves. Everyone only gets to make 8 moves and the game's over. Like, you can pass, but otherwise everyone's going to make 8 actions tops. And then the game, so like really the game, but it really matters when you're 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, 30. But it was a great game. We had a great time with it. Then we went in the pool. We tried to do as many pool games, develop games that we could.
Yeah, we were in the shop. We were in the shop.
Yeah, we were like, shoot the beach ball with the water gun, past it. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, shoot the ball in the donut blow up thing.
All the most exhausting things.
Yeah.
we after every fucking thing we tried, after a couple of like rounds of it, loose quote unquote rounds.
Then let's play keep them up. Let's play keep up tap the ball first to get to 100, and then oh my god. So anyway, it was a really good afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we decided to blow the screen up again.
Yep.
Play some video games.
Which every time we had to put those stakes back in the ground.
I will say this. Since Tom already said it. Tom did say, I overheard you say to Chris when you were putting the stake in the ground that you felt resistance. You did it anyway.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, no matter where I put the stakes, I felt resistance a little bit.
No. This was heavy. This had to have been heavy resistance.
It didn't feel any more resistant than the rest of the spots. But I was anytime I felt resistance after that, I was like, well, surely that can't be a line, but I'm not gonna fucking try it. So so
do we want to talk about the challenge now?
Let's just do the challenge now, since
let's just get to it after we do the presentation.
Okay.
All right, fine. You can just talk about it now. Talk about it.
Okay,
you're right. You're right. I see what you're saying.
We don't have footage.
We don't have footage of it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
We decided so my challenge was what I originally wanted to do was 99 lives.
You could have done it.
No, but here's why I didn't do it. So it would have taken I wanted to do 99 lives stock battle in Super Smash Brothers on Final Destination, or even a bigger map than that.
Yeah.
Then I thought, we started it at like 8, and I was like, you know what? This is going to take too long, right? And I didn't want to have a lot of items on either. But I was like, this is going to take too long. We don't have time for this, because we also wanted to play some Halo. We wanted to play, Mario Kart. We wanted to do other things. So I was like, let's do 50 lives on one of the Game & Watch worlds where there's going to be shit trying to bounce you off really quick, and turn almost all the items on, and just put them high, and then we'll just play. It was pretty close almost the entire time, and Chris won. He was playing as, who are you playing as? Marth. He was playing as Marth. I was playing as Lucario, and Tom was playing as Sora. And Chris won got out, I think, 2 lives.
Yeah, Tom got out when you had, I think, 4 and I had
6.
5.
Okay, yeah.
It was something like that, or like 3 to 5. Like we only had a handful of lives ahead of time when Tom got knocked out. Who were you playing as, Tom?
Sora,
right.
Who I hadn't actually played before the night before when we were playing some rounds, and I really like that moveset. I was like, you know what, like, I played the most with this person recently. Like, I'll give it a go. I was surprised. I really thought, like, I knew it would be close between the two of you. I really thought that I would be at a huge deficit the whole time, and I was behind the entire time. But there were a lot of times where I was like only 1.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun. It was a blast.
It still took a while. It still took like 45. Oh, okay.
I think it took like an hour.
I think it was like 40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes. And it's still like kind of crazy when you consider how much stuff is in the Game & Watch level, how small it is, how much stuff there is to launch.
So much bullshit.
It was an item control. It was an item control match.
It was an item
primarily
control
though. Whoever could stay in control of the items the longest was in the lead. And it just kept going back and forth with who that person was during random stretches of the game. And it was
just
Fuck, it was such a. There was a couple times where it felt like an absolute nightmare. Where like
it was
somewhat like
we were getting
like
ping ponged. We were just getting fucking batted around.
The Game and Watch levels dropping shit on you, and there's like 3 legendary Pokemon on the stage, and bombs exploding. Like
it was crazy.
Like there were times where I was like coming back to life and dying within seconds.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
So I just want to. I don't want to. Oh no, go ahead. You wanted to say I was going to switch.
Well, it was so funny when we got to the end and we went to go like record like the last 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd have something, and it was like, because Super Smash Bros. Is like the one game you can't do that feature with, and Chris burst out laughing to us. He was like, "That's why we've never done it. That's why we never did it before." It was. But
speaking of bullshit, after that, we decided to play some Halo. And
we did,
to get 2 people, 2 guests that you just want to play Halo with, to sign in and play a game was a living nightmare.
We're talking about Infinite, just to clarify with people. Yeah.
And I will say, I will just also caveat and say Master Chief Collection, much easier to get guests in and play a game.
Because it's built like those old games.
So you wanted to play Infinite, and it's like, well, you need a profile. And okay, well, I put in my profile, but that wasn't, and you have to pair it to a controller. But then if you pair it to the wrong controller, the wrong order, the whole thing got fucked up.
The primary problem is that we didn't, because we're outside, we had a very faint connection to the internet, and we just all assumed like, well, if you just want to play local matches, that's not going to be a problem. But Halo Infinite not connected to the internet just like doesn't work. And it was, we went through everything. We tried pairing it to our phones via like hotspot, and like that seemed to work. Like that, it got to us all signed in, but like it wouldn't actually let us pick a match. It was a fucking nightmare.
But the problem is, and the biggest problem with this, and the biggest problem I have with like the new age of video games now, is that you have to be connected to the internet. Even when all we wanted to do was play a custom game between the 3 of us, 1v1v1. I don't need to be connected to the internet. I should just be able to boot it up. I should be able to boot that up and play with my friends in 30 seconds. I should be able to go in, press A to get to custom games, pick Slayer, 25 kills to win, pick a map, and be done. But it's not. It's absolutely insane, the bullshit that you have to go through. Absolutely insane.
We've gone just there being like, they ruined it. They
ruined it. I kept saying it. They've ruined it. They've ruined video games. They have ruined video games. I fucking hate them. I hate it. Can't stand it.
Oh my god. Well, but we did eventually play some Master Chief because you had brought your Xbox, which had it installed, so we just kind of swapped Xboxes. And that was great. That did allow us to get in quick. We had some fun matches there. Watched Taskmaster, the season premiere of that.
And we watched the season premiere of The Circle.
Oh, we did.
Which this is what I'm saying. I wish we had more days.
Night. Yeah.
I wish we had more days, because The Circle this season is
how much have you watched?
Control. 7 episodes so far.
Holy shit, you're way ahead. Oh my god.
It's out of control. It is. Okay. Well, this might be one of the better seasons.
I'm curious, Alex. So we did a Circle draft.
We did.
Has my Circle draft pick, guess number 9, shown up yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh right, I forgot about.
Oh wait, no, I've got guess. Or wait,
no, there is no one who has 9.
You have
8 and I have 10.
Right, there is no number 9, and Tom has 11.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
No, because we got through 7, because there was 7 people. Then it was 8, 9, 10, and I said, "I'll do 9." And then
it was 8 and 9, and then Alex said he didn't want one of the first 7 people, so you took 10.
We were.
That's what it was, Alex. You took guess number 10 because you said, "I don't want this motherfucker," the 7th person that was left. And I was like, "Well, I have guess number 8, and Tom has guess number 9." You were like, "Well, I'll take guess number 10."
It was so funny. It was so fucking funny. The amount of laughter that happened this weekend, despite everything, was unparalleled. I had a headache on the last day because every time I laughed because I had just been laughing so much.
Lads weekend playlist that we put together had
some
absolute
bops,
bangers.
fucking bops.
And then
dawn of the final day.
Dawn of the final day, we did 2 awesome things. We played mini golf again at another course.
Did it again. We fucking
different
did
course.
It again.
And what's hilarious is that Chris and I tied again.
And
so
I liked that course even better.
That second course was really good.
We did really good on that second course. The first day we were like pretty far from par, but we were like 5 or 6 away from par for the first time ever playing that course this time through. Yeah. And you, Tom, were like right behind us. Like we were all in spitting distance.
I had a great, and it was a point at which like it wasn't really, you didn't know who was going to win really until the end there, which was a lot of fun. And then
we went to a restaurant.
We also go-karted there.
Oh, right, we go-karted.
The go-kart was
boost
fun.
Mode,
go-kart was fun. Tuna's go-kart was so much faster than ours.
I just thought, well, what happened was I thought, well, I'm heavier than Tuna, so I'm going to be slower. So that's why he overtook me. But I kept looking and I was like, where's Chris? I thought like you were having technical issues, but
I had the slowest one.
We were just like perfectly distant from
yours
each other.
Yours was actually slightly faster than mine too, Tom. Mine was not going that fast.
That sucks.
Yeah,
because it was I could never see you. I could
see you a bit. I could see you guys both from behind at the beginning, and you were slowly pulling away, but Alex was screaming away from me. Alex lapped me. It was nice.
Yeah, he lapped me, and then I stopped him from lapping me again at the very end.
Which I almost did though.
That's why
I almost lapped you at the very end. And then we went to a restaurant, got some beers, played The King is Dead again.
Yep.
Had a great time with that. And then we went to a rage room.
Yep.
Yeah.
And had an rage room. I'm at the rage room. I had an amazing time. It was sick. They had a robot that picked your weapon for you. You entered which number you wanted, which weapon you wanted. This robot arm picked it off a shelf and gave it to you.
Like Tony Stark's thing that he has in Iron Man. He has that arm robot.
If you don't know what a rage room is, they basically put you in like a garage that has like a big metal wall on the end of it, and they have a table set up with like glasses and like shot put pucks and printers and computers and keyboards and stuff for you to just absolutely destroy. And we had to put on basically almost like painter style suits to keep us like safe from the glass, and gloves and helmets and shit.
Suits.
Yeah, we had like kill suits.
Yeah.
And we could choose between mallets, bats, and crowbars. We should have taken one of each. The sledgehammers were great, but they were so heavy that it was absolutely exhausting.
So they gave us 20 minutes, and we made the best of that 20 minutes because at the end there was shit everywhere. We had destroyed everything.
Obliterated.
It was pulp. Yeah.
And it was, and I'll be honest with you, 20 minutes went by so fucking fast, because I remember thinking toward the end of that 20 minutes, we didn't know what time it was, but toward the end I was like, all right, I think I'm done. But I thought we had half the time to go still, but no, it was over, and it was great. And then we went.
Alex kicked it off because when the timer started, Alex went first, like immediately just laid into a predator with his sledgehammer, to the point where Tom was about to hit something and just stopped and watched him. He was like, oh shit.
It was great. I had a great time. Then we went home, saw my kid, unpacked the car, and then you went to the airport.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We needed 2 more. We needed 2 more days.
At minimum, another day would have been great, because then we could have done everything a little slower, and a little bit more chill. Like just having more downtime at the pool would have been.
Well, that's the thing. Like I feel like
we were at the pool, and we were like, we have to make the most of it, and we exhausted ourselves doing that.
I was dead.
We did.
Yeah,
we did. But like that's the thing. Like I wish we had another day to do Nintendo World Champions. I wish we had another day to play Smash again, different modes.
Yep.
I wish we had another day to play Halo again.
I wanted to play the board game a little more.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The King is Dead. Play that game
fun.
A little more. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Or just have a chill time.
Yeah.
And but anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go. We highly recommend the lads weekend with your buds or girls.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Therese was like, "You guys should do lads weekend like every couple of years," and I was like, "Honestly,
every
that's
year,
couple years. No, every couple of years."
No, every year at least.
Well, I said if we don't do it, I said if we don't do it every year, I was like, oh no, what I said to her was, the plan is if we're not already getting together for some reason every year, then we do a lads weekend. Because if we're doing something else, then also having a lads weekend might be more difficult to sell. For instance, you know, why you have to record the podcast because you're seeing them this weekend. Why you have to record the podcast because you just saw them last week.
I will tell you, it's definitely getting easier with the kid getting older.
Yeah, of course.
Much easier because she doesn't require as much shit.
Yeah,
as she did. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
So yeah, so I don't think we need to. Well,
I don't really have anything video game wise to talk about. I mean, we all know.
I can tell you one video game thing I did.
What?
I downloaded the Plucky Squire, but I didn't play it.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
But I downloaded it.
I got a code for it a couple of weeks ago, and I played a little bit, but then Astrobot came out, so I did like the first couple of levels in it and never. I was like, I'm kind of very on Astrobot right now, and I'll get back to it. So I haven't.
This is why I'm not touching either.
Should we just briefly? I'm gonna briefly just mention that we all watched Survivor. Even though this is not a Survivor podcast, we all do watch it.
Yeah, Tom and I will probably talk about Survivor in the post show.
Well, I'll just preface it with saying we're off to a banger start already.
Yep.
So, woo! Buckle up.
I cannot believe. I cannot believe it. Honestly, after the last season we had, and a certain character that was on that season, and then a certain character on this season.
It's almost as if they're casting for that kind of character.
Yeah. There's a Psycho every season now. I was saying to Alex earlier, Tom, that they should do a season of Psychos. They should get all the best Psychos from the previous seasons, put them on together.
Yeah,
it would be called Survivor Asylum. It would be really good. In fact, so what I was thinking, Tom. So we're trying out a new Survivor fantasy thing from Tribal Council, and it's like a real Survivor. Now, Tom didn't set his thing up. Alex, how do we feel about doing this to try it out? Right, we're going to do it this season. Do we want to do our standard draft? You know, for a little change though between the three of us, like the old way of doing it.
Okay.
While we simultaneously play with this, just because now Tom is already playing several points behind, basically.
Well, it's his own fucking fault. He had a couple days to fucking do it. But
I forgot that we had to get it done before the episode and all that jazz.
Well, either way, next season, what we should do is we should open the Tribal Council thing up. Like, assuming we like it and we like follow through with it this season, we should do it because there are people in the community that also watch Survivor, so we can have anyone play along. Because unlike the way the other ones work, you aren't drafting from the same pool. You pick whoever you want. Yeah, you pick whichever people you want, and you get points based on the way that people perform in the episodes versus just picking and hoping you got the winner. So, yeah, I look forward to that.
Presentation.
Very quick news I thought was funny. Bungie is thinking about charging $40 for Marathon, and I think that's really funny after what just happened with Concord. I know that Helldivers charged $40 and was a big success, but boy, does that seem like a risk after what just happened with Concord. Speaking of Helldivers, they just got an update, which I'm very excited about, and the community is very excited about, because one of the things that like sort of made that game fall off for a lot of people was, and we were talking about this when we were playing it, they started overbalancing it, and like all of the ways to like level up faster, and like the strong weapons, they kept nerfing strong weapons, and so it's just like the game was endlessly being overbalanced, and I fucking hate video games that do that. Some games should have weapons that are OP. Games should have weapons that are extra strong, especially when they're limited in ammo. Well, they went back and this whole patch is like a buff patch. They are like rebuffing. They rebuffed like a ton of weapons, and the community is very excited about this. And it sounds like they're doing this ahead of that third faction is about to join. So there's a bunch of new shit in it.
The third faction hasn't joined yet?
No, so I'm very excited about this. They buffed a bunch of weapons. There's a lot of new shit since I last played, and the third faction is coming. I feel like after this month, after I finish Star Wars, I've got like boom, boom, boom games to play, like Astrobot, Plucky Squire, UFO 50, Zelda. But when that's done, if the Illuminate is out, if that DLC is dropped, I'm very excited to jump back into that.
All right.
Because that game was fun as fuck. But I was really annoyed with how they were rebalancing the game constantly. It's like people liked it. Why you keep adjusting it? Like, it's fine. The game's hard as fuck on the harder settings. If people want it to be harder, just let them play on the hard settings. You don't need to make it boring by making the strong weapons weak. Tom, anything else in the news?
Switch 2 leak.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Reported images of a Switch 2. It basically seems to confirm a lot of the rumors that we've been hearing. Big one being, I mean, it looks a lot like a Switch. The big kind of change is that Joy-Cons attach magnetically. So no more sliding. Yeah, there's this like magnetic tech where you can press a button and it like demagnetizes. So like you won't be able to separate them. It'll be just as strong, if not stronger than the last Switch. And that's something that I like, because the rail system, like, it's kind of flimsy. Like, you can kind of flex it a little bit. Not great. Screen is really big. This is seemingly an 8-inch screen, which again, previous rumors were saying that it was going to be that big. So it's substantially bigger than the current screen, even on the OLED. And basically, power-wise, specs are saying that it's going to be somewhere in the vein of a PS4 when in handheld and a PS4 Pro when docked. So the dock is actually going to supply a little bit more power. I also think it outputs in 4K. So this is lining up to, and 256 gigs of internal storage versus like 32, which is what comes with the basic Switch. So it looks like, for all intents and purposes, the next fucking Switch is going to look like a Switch and is going to deliver on that. And a lot of people seem to be kind of like, oh, it just looks the same thing. But personally, I'm like, thank you for not rocking the boat. Thank you for just making another fucking Switch, because we all love our Switch. So yeah, now that these leaks are out in the wild, it's only a matter of time until we get an announcement. Yeah, so yeah, exciting stuff. PS5 Pro, they're doing a 30th anniversary collection of PlayStation. So you can get a PS5 Pro in the like slate, the gray of the PlayStation. You get a basic PlayStation 5 there as well. So lots of cool little hardware bits and pieces coming out. And hopefully we'll learn more about the Switch 2 soon.
Hell yeah. Can I do a quick mail and then I have a presentation?
Yeah.
Email at unrankedpodcast.com, or you can go to our show notes, go to the Discord, go to questions for the pod. Sounds complicated, 3 steps, but it's actually very easy. You can leave us a question or a comment, or you can dial 805-738-8692. That's 805 Retunia.
It is.
We got an email I'm gonna read.
Okay. I'm
not sure how you pronounce this name because I've never seen it before. But the title of the email is "Greetings from Honduras." This is, I'm going to say, Joxan Hernandez. Apologies if I have that wrong. I've not met anyone with your name. Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Joxan. I've been a fan of your podcast since 2017 or something like that, but I didn't quite have the time to catch up with the show. I've been listening to you nonstop. This 2024, I'm in the 200s. Just finished the Remoraid one, and I was wondering, 2 questions. First, he was wondering about an episode that's missing, which there's like 10 or 11 episodes that are broken, because I was reordering all the episodes at some point like a year or 2 ago when they added seasons like to the actual podcast format. And when I did it detached a bunch of episodes, and so like some were playing the other one's audio and stuff, and so now I have to pull off the wrong audio and re-upload it, and I don't keep them on my computer. They're on a hard drive, so I need to go pull down that. So I just haven't done it. So there will be a few more. You're going to run into like probably like 5 or 6 more that are missing. I will find them and get to it at some point. I'll do it sooner rather than later. But the second question is, I've been listening to your predictions on GTA 6 and PlayStation 5, as well as future Pokemon games. I myself stopped playing Pokemon after Ultra Moon. My question is, Did the GTA 6 trailer, PlayStation 5, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as well as Arceus Legends meet your expectations? A big hello from ooh. Teguka
You are?
Teguki Galpa.
Ooh, I think
Especially
you
hard with
butchered that.
my
Ooh, brother.
with my Invisalign in Honduras.
That's awesome. Thank
Chapenla,
you.
that suck it in Spanish.
Oh,
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We love to hear that. I'm glad you're going to hear this in 200 plus episodes.
I mean, he's asking about. I think he's probably also listening to the current one and going back and listening to the stuff that he missed.
Okay. Did GTA 6? I mean, honestly, I think I'm going to say that none of those things lived up to the hype. Definitely, like I personally was disappointed with the last generation of Pokemon. PS5, as much as I enjoy it, I mean, there's no denying that this generation has had a little bit of hasn't been, it's been complicated, let's put it that way. And then GTA 6, I mean, I'm very excited for that game, but that trailer, I mean, was exactly what I kind of, I mean, it's cool, like I love that's a great trailer.
You weren't really a GTA guy before though, right?
Well, I mean, I played the fuck out of 5. I mean, I haven't been like
man, Tom,
diehard GTA person since 3.
You are gonna love GTA with the boys. Tuna and
100%,
I,
100%.
you, me, and Tuna, you are gonna have a brand new appreciation for GTA.
Lads Weekend 20, whenever after the next GTA comes out, it'll be great. But no, yeah, no, I'm very stoked to play it now that we all know each other for sure.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet,
you loved,
both met and failed to meet my expectations. Actually, sure. I would say met my expectations in that I knew the hardware was not capable of what they were attempting, nor was the developer. That being said, all of the actual gameplay mechanic things they did in that game are like kind of everything everyone's been asking for. So it's really funny that because they just don't put the money behind making it visually and technically what it needs to be, or on hardware what it needs to be, that everyone was like, so many people are so vocally disappointed about it. Meanwhile, the gameplay was everything everyone actually has been asking for a very long time. So I think it's actually the most fun modern Pokemon game that I've played since Black and White. But it has a lot of technical flaws. So I really hope they kind of course correct with the next one. They really have to, because
Gen 10, baby, come on.
Yeah, there's going to be really no excuse with new hardware the next time around. If they don't really put their money behind it, it's going to be really bad for them, I think. GTA 6, I can't wait. PlayStation 5 is a really great console with a absolute ass controller.
Tuna, thoughts? Did you even boot up Gen 9?
No, he didn't. He didn't play Gen 9. He did Sword and Shield, but he didn't do Gen 9.
Right.
No, I didn't do Gen. The way people were talking about it just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't
but you loved Arceus. You loved Legends Arceus.
I loved Arceus. I did.
Liked Arceus a lot.
I 100%ed that game.
It's a better game than Arceus. So. It's just uglier.
All right. Yeah, the GTA 6 trailer, I was kind of like, yeah, fine, whatever. I mean, I don't really care about the trailer. I'd rather just play the game.
Yes,
I'm interested to see how much satire and bullshit is in GTA 6 because we're living
in it.
So
well, that's just the thing, is they don't have to really write a lot of satire. They just need to write reality.
Yeah. I can't wait.
That trailer is literally filled with replicating things that actually have happened.
Yeah, that's all they need to do now. It's no longer it's a virtual documentary now.
I can't wait till the the who's get pissed off about a certain character that's probably going to be in the game.
Oh my god, that's going to be fun. That is going to be a fun time. Yeah. What PS5?
I hope you get to. Oh, just leave it there.
Yep. Don't say another fucking word.
Alex, PS5.
What about it?
Hasn't lived up to
Do you
your
like it?
expectation.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not like, the thing is, like, I never look at like the specs and all that. Like, you guys notice stuff that I don't notice. Like, there was something with the projector that, like, the frame rate or something, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know. And then you guys changed
You noticed
something.
the lag. You noticed the lag. You noticed that it
Yeah,
was
but I
lagging.
feel like there was another time that you came to my house and like the setting on the TV was wrong, and
I
like
did.
you
I did
fixed it,
fix
and
the
I was
motion
like, I didn't
smoothing on
even.
his TV.
I was like, yeah, sure, it's fine.
Oh.
So, yeah. All right, Chris has a presentation for us that deals with. We are like actually kind of behind on these presentations because this is from a challenge.
Yeah, this is from a previous challenge.
Two challenges ago.
Yeah, from two. And now Tom is going to have a presentation next week.
I'm
going to give it to you tonight, Tom.
No.
I'm not going to make it too. What?
You have to give me a presentation.
For what?
For the
because he lost in
Walkabout
the
Minigolf slingshot.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
and
right.
then Tom. Okay, so I'm going to give you one, Alex.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can pick what Tom has to do. You should give it to Tom. I'm going to let you pick what Tom has to do for his next presentation. Tom, you're going to get 2 weeks for it. So you're going to tell him by tomorrow, Alex, what it's going to be. Okay. Make it good, Tom. Put work into it. Because you're about to see someone who spent way too much time on something.
Here we go. All right. So the presentation.
Have my presentations not had some work put into them?
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I don't know.
I'd say there's a spectrum.
Well,
there's a spectrum. There's a spectrum of like really good, winging it, and malicious compliance.
You and Andy.
I wanted Chris to give a presentation on the real reason the Roman Empire fell.
Oh God, why did you do this?
What do you mean?
Oh, this is gonna be involved for sure. This is gonna be involved.
This is gonna have charts and graphs about economic policy, and oh, here we go. Okay, he did say don't talk a lot and interrupt because it's probably
I'm in class right now.
Me too. I'm in class.
So you're allowed to ask questions. I'll do my best. You have to understand I'm not an expert on this like Alex is.
No. I mean, I gave you a lot of
several books on this.
I gave you a lot of room.
So I watched some short documentary stuff. I listened to a couple podcasts, and then I, use Google and a lot of other people's work and extensive notes to make something.
Chat GPT.
Yes, and Chat GPT to then organize all of those notes for me.
Okay.
And rewrite them into.
I'm ready for it. I'm here.
So if stuff is wrong, if you need to correct something, Alex,
I'm not correcting anything.
Okay, well that's fine. All right, here we go. SPQR, Tom.
Unless it's like crazy off.
Spuka.
Eyes up on the class, please. Thank you.
Nice. Put your phone away.
Oh, it's gone.
By the way, how would you guys have pronounced the name of that country in Honduras?
I didn't see it in front of me, so I've got no idea.
Oh. All right. SPQR stands for Senatus Populusque Romanus. It's an emblematic phrase referring to the government of the Roman Republic.
Okay. Spuka.
Making my notes bigger. All right, there we go.
Oh, all of Spuka.
Are you typing that now?
No, that was an animation.
Oh, okay. The fall of
I'm just moving my notes over. There we go.
Okay.
All right. The rise and fall of Imperial Rome, which is what we're going to talk about today is Imperial Rome.
I genuinely feel like I'm ready for a lecture.
The Holy Roman Empire. We're going to talk about Imperial Rome. Holy Roman Empire is after.
The cool one.
Exactly. A journey through the phases of Roman power and decline.
Yeah.
This is a 10-part. It's broken down into 10 parts.
Fucking
so we're going to start with because before you can have the fall of Rome, you have to have the construction of the Roman Empire.
Right. It wasn't built in a day.
Because what is the point of talking about something that goes away if you don't even know how it got there? So the founding of Rome and the early republic took place between 753 and 146 BC. There's legend of Romulus and Remus. Rome founded in 753 BC. It was basically it was a story to justify Rome's divine origin, kind of like, the way many stories in history of, stories of
Myth.
creation, Adam and Eve, this, that, everything has a story of origin, especially in the past.
Right.
The early Republic, 509 BC. So it takes about 250 years before the early Republic actually begins in Rome.
Yeah.
So you kind of have this concept of Rome, and 250 years later, that actually builds into the first early Republic. Rome overthrows its monarchy, establishes the Republic. So this is a map of the early Republic of Rome. You have the conquest of the Italians, which took place here.
Yep.
And then you have the expansion, which is in green. So they expanded into Spain, Macedonia, Greece, Carthage.
Yep.
The expansion of Rome conquers Italy and defeats Carthage in the Punic Wars, becoming the dominant Mediterranean power by 146 BC.
Yep.
Next, we have the internal conflict and the fall of the Republic. So this is the first early Roman Republic. It's still, again, not yet the Roman Empire.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That takes place between 133 and 27 BC. So we're getting close to a turning point here historically.
Jesus Christ.
There's periods of social unrest and class struggles between the patricians and plebeians escalate. There's the rise of military leaders, Julius Caesar, for instance, which is probably the most famous amongst people that are, aware of Rome in any kind of regard. They challenge the Senate's authority. And civil war and Caesar's assassination leads to the Republic's collapse and rise of Augustus as the first true emperor. A lot of people I think a lot of people, if you ask them in the name of like a Roman emperor, they would actually say Julius Caesar, but actually Augustus is the first emperor. So now you can see what's taken place over the next 100 years. We've expanded greatly during the final years of the Republic. We're into Asia Minor. We're over in Egypt. We're in Gaul by the Alps. We're getting up into Europe now.
Gaul is old France.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we have the rise of the Roman Empire, basically taking place over about a 50-year period. Some things will say BCE, which is equivalent to AD, but this goes up to 14 AD. So Augustus's reign, he was the first emperor. It marked the beginning of the Roman Empire. Pax Romana, a period of peace, prosperity, and consolidation of Roman power. And here's the expansion of Rome. Rome grows, consolidating control over regions like Gaul and Egypt. So this is going to go, these maps are going to actually go farther out. You're going to see up to 246 BCE, but it's going to be most relevant to the period that I'm talking about right now and over the next slide. So I placed it here as sort of a transitionary period because this is kind of like the great early Roman Empire that we are discussing, that people are typically talking about when you talk about the Roman Empire itself. Oh, I accidentally cut this image off a little bit, so I don't have the exact context for that. Oh, apologies, but ooh.
What's going on?
Sorry, we're just gonna move on. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck
it. Sorry, we're just gonna because I don't have all of
the technology.
It's true.
I will say, I didn't talk about the so Rome grows consolidated regions like Gaul and Egypt. Augustus cautions expansion policies during this, by the way, because Augustus was worried about overstretch of Rome, which is a key point, and I wanted to make sure I put that in my talking points. I did it because I didn't want to put too much text on the thing. That's actually really important because that is going to be important later on for when it comes to the fall of Rome. He was looking too far out, but he knew early on that it was a possibility. So the height of the Roman Empire now, we're in the 1st, 2nd century AD, which is, again, that map that we just saw there was showing, is the peak of power under emperors like Trajan and Hadrian, which I believe are, you've said, 2 of your favorite emperors.
Yeah. They're part of the 5 good emperors.
So the empire reaches its greatest territorial extent here. There's cultural dominance, Roman lore, architecture, culture spreads across the empire. Trajan's conquest of, I don't know how you pronounce this, Dacia. Yeah, I put the A in the wrong spot. Dacia. Campaigns in Parthia added immense wealth to Rome, including silver and gold mines. These expansions also increased the strain on military resources, though.
Tom, you paying attention? There's gonna be a fucking quiz at the end.
What do you mean? I'm literally listening.
Like, I should have put a quiz at the end of this. And of course, during this time, and this is again why it's considered, the height, monumental architecture. This is the Rome you're thinking of.
It is.
These are the Romes you are looking for. This is the Colosseum and the Pantheon
So
were
this is
created
when,
during this time.
So during this time period is when Gladiator takes place.
This is Hadrian's architectural
Almost.
projects, like Hadrian's Wall and the rebuilding of the Pantheon. These are both designed for defense and to glorify Roman power. So that would take place after this, because Hadrian essentially put these projects into place, and then this was established during that movie already at that point. So it took place after that fact.
The movie takes place 2 emperors later, 3 emperors later.
Now we're going to get into where the problems start. So that's peak. We have peaked.
Yep,
that is peak Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going to come down now. That was the 90s. You know, that was the 1990s of America.
90s are the best. The 90s are the best.
And then, you know,
and then 9/11 happens.
9/11. What
economic
is
strain.
9/11? Let's find out.
It's the 3rd century AD. Economic strain and military overextension. Overextended borders, difficulty defending frontiers. Remember what Augustus thought. Here we are. Overextended borders, difficulty defending frontiers from barbarian invasions. Economic decline, plagues, famines, inflation cause widespread hardship. And this is a really big point here. The military reliance on mercenaries. It weakens cohesion and loyalty within the army. You see the auxilia there. The auxilia is basically non-Roman, or non-Roman specifically military mercenaries. So people hire guns, and they are not, it is not good for the health of the nation to have to rely on the auxilia. The incorporation of Germanic mercenaries into the Roman army introduced cultural and military practices that would later influence the collapse of the Western Empire. Germany's behind so many bad things. Crisis of the 3rd century.
Oh yeah, big fucking Germans.
Again, we're still, this is essentially in that same period that we're just, because, you know, I just said crisis. 3rd century. We're not moving forward. We're still in it. Political chaos. Frequent changes of emperors lead to instability. We have the barracks emperors, so the barracks emperors are emperors that were, these are like military leaders installed as emperors over time. So this is like a new lineage of emperors, which again, similar to the way the mercenaries worked, we're breaking Roman culture. We're breaking the Roman identity, which is essentially also breaking Rome. Civil wars and foreign invasions. Empire nearly disintegrates due to internal conflict and barbarian pressure, which we're going to see coming up soon. Economic collapse. I have a couple of Roman coins here for you to look at. Inflation, devalued currency, cripple the economy. The induction of the debasement currency. So this is the reducing of silver content of coins led to hyperinflation. So this is kind of like getting rid of the gold standard. Right? Like this was the Nixon move.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, this is a big problem. Yeah, this is
Diocletian's reforms.
Oh, Diocletian! Look at you bringing up fucking Diocletian. Yeah, okay.
284 to 305 AD. Again, still third century. Bad news for Rome. Only gets worse from there. But it really is, like, you could just argue, like, if you were to say what period, at least this is what I would suggest, is what period is like the real downfall of Rome. If I had to put it in 100 years, I would say the 3rd century. The 3rd century is really you go from what was the height of Rome to the beginning of the end. Of Rome. Diocletian reforms and the division of the empire. So we have the Tetrarchy. Diocletian splits. Did I say that wrong? Tetrarchy?
No, it's just I didn't think we were going to see the Tetrarchy in this presentation.
How do you not see the Tetrarchy?
No. Go ahead.
I mean, this would be the balkanization of Rome is essentially what we're discussing here, right? Is that the balkanization of Rome would be the easiest way to explain that if you know about the Balkans.
I just didn't think you would have done this much research, but yeah.
Diocletian splits the empire into east and west for more efficient governments.
Military
and economic reform stabilize the empire temporarily. Jesus Christ, it's getting. I need more.
Listen, I can't speak either. So,
we're going to talk about what the Tetrarchy is in a moment. So this is the Tetrarchy.
Yes.
So long-term effects: division of the empire continues weakening the west. They essentially split Rome into the east and the west. That's not exactly, but if you want to discuss it in like the most basic terms, it's sort of an eastern and western Rome. It is broken up, as you can see here, into more regions than that. but that is kind of the most important thing that we're going to talk about, because that's how I'm going to move on into the next phase in the fall of Rome here, which is the varying invasions and the decline of the West, because the West is gone first and most importantly, and that is really like once the West falls, once you lose a part of Rome, you lose all of Rome.
Well, they said.
So this takes place in the 4th and the 5th century.
Okay, yeah.
Well, just like Rome itself is it is no longer really like what it once was.
True.
And this is going to be I mean, again, we're not going into the Holy Roman Empire. We're just talking about it from what it was as Imperial Rome.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's gone, but
well, just to the Byzantine Empire, though they call it the Byzantine Empire, they still consider themselves Roman.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead. No,
Germanic tribes and the Huns.
Research. Yeah, Attila. Yeah,
you got the Huns. They're coming in. They pressure the empire's borders, leading to instability. So the migrations of Huns into Europe push many Germanic tribes into Roman territory, leading to increased conflict and a series of invasions. It's now you have to remember here what we talked about with the Auxilia. The Germans already were coming. The Germanic tribes were already coming in and working for the mercenaries, and now their people, not just the militia, are coming in, but the actual people. So the culture is coming in as well, and that's really like that pressure down from the north is really just completely changing the landscape of Rome. The Battle of Adrianople, 307. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, 378 AD. I mean, I read a lot of these words. Rome was decisively defeated by the Visigoths.
The amount of research is impressive. Fucking graphs. I mean,
look at this fucking chart. Look at this. Holy crap.
So here we were talking about
this looks like the
These are the tribal rail system. These are the tribal invasions. Look at how many competing people are. The Goths, the Visigoths, the Ostrogoths, the Franks, the Lombards, the Scots, the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Vandals, the Huns. Everyone wants a piece of this because blood is in the water.
Like Smash Ultimate.
You can smell blood in the water.
The capital's at Ravenna up there.
This is why I argue that the fall of the West was so important, because the West's weakening, very, very importantly, introduced because of Tetrarchy and the overexpansion of Rome. When you look at what the Huns did and the Visigoths coming in from the West, they put pressure on everyone else, because when they pushed in, they forced all of these other tribes who none alone had the power to really threaten the Roman Empire. But because of the pressure put on them, it was an existential threat to them, the Huns and the Visigoths. So then they have to move in, and then all of them pressuring the Roman Empire becomes an existential threat to the Roman Empire. And you have all these different barbarian settlements just carving out their own kingdoms here. And now we're going to discuss finally the fall of Rome, the sack of Rome in 410 AD. Visigoths under Alaric sack the city. The Vandal sack of Rome in 455 AD further weakens Western Europe. And both of them, I mean, the Vandals establish a kingdom in the North Africa. Romulus Augustus deposed 476 AD. Now he isn't, correct me if I'm wrong here, he's not killed. They lose the battle, and he abdicates the throne, and this is an image of him abdicating. This is, well, not an image of him, but there's an illustration of him abdicating the throne it's a Greek guy, Hercule. I don't have it in my notes. I'm trying to remember. Herculius. Oh, maybe. No, I thought Odoacer was the guy who lost. Or maybe he won the battle.
Odoacer was the barbarian soldier who deposed the Western Roman child emperor Romulus Augustus.
Okay. Maybe I have wires crossed there.
That's fine.
This is an illustration of that.
Yeah.
And the end, finally, of the Western Roman Empire. 476 AD marks the traditional fall of the Roman Empire. So when Alex asked me for the fall of the Roman Empire, I said to him, I'm not going to do the Holy Roman Empire. I'm going to do the Imperial Roman Empire. It's what everyone thinks of. The Western Roman Empire marks the beginning of the Middle Ages, by the way. So the end of that. So like, which is why, Alex, I said, when you lose the West, you lose Rome, because this marks the end of the Western Roman Empire and the beginning of like. So that's why I was phasing it that way, because there is still, you have all of those places in East, but they're all been carved out and nothing is like it was. Eastern Empire continues, Byzantine Empire thrives, Rome's Western dominance ends. The Byzantine Empire would continue for another 1,000 years.
Correct.
Yep. Long time.
It goes 14.
Here's the legacy of Rome. Beautiful sunset over an illustration of ancient Rome.
Gorgeous.
Legacy.
It's like fucking the end of the Castle of Cagliostro over here.
Yeah. Roman culture, law, and infrastructure influence Europe for centuries to come. Roman influence can still be seen in modern legal systems, languages, architectural styles across Europe and beyond, particularly through the spread of Christianity. Even if you look at America, I mean,
I was going to say, thank you,
America.
Constantine, for making Christianity, for being one reason Christianity is so prevalent over here. Fucking dick.
Spuka.
Nice. Vini.
Love that.
Love it. That was great. That was very good. Very well researched. Very well researched.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
This reminds me of the time in the 10th grade where I had to do a presentation on the Crusades and I went overboard, and I don't know why. I did every single one, including the Children's Crusade, which like isn't even one of them. But I was like, well, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Very cool. Very cool. Love that.
I mean, I was loving it. It's all good stuff.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
I will pick, Alex, I will pick your presentation. I won't give you anything too crazy so you can get it done by next week. And then you pick something for Tom to do the following week. Tom, I gave you one task for today, which is to give us our next challenge.
You got it. You got it. We're going to do Quixote Valley in golf. First 9 holes. Best score.
Okay. What if we tie?
We'll figure it out.
Best score.
Okay.
Yep.
Why
are you questioning that, Tuna? I felt like that was pretty straightforward.
No, it is.
I'm into this. I mean, I'm super into this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to find a way.
Alex is gonna have to find a way
to get a hole on every hole.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, if you want to do that, be my guest.
I thought he was going to say race fastest time.
I thought you were going to say race.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to say.
But I'm into this.
No, I wanted to do one that I could like take my time with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. All right. Well, should we record the whole 9 holes then? Like, what are you? All right.
You could definitely get it done in 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, until next time, everybody, stay unranked.
And sprinkler systems can go fuck themselves and suck it. Oh, what was the way to say it in Spanish? Shit.
Oh.
I would cut it there.
Chupenla.